Through comic book panels and text, it is time for another episode of Weekly RECS. I am the only one, the number one, the ultimate B-Man, alongside with
Crimson Chris
and
Jules True.
And let's get it started with Mr. Jules True.
Oh, okay then. From the Marvel side of things, folks, I will start it off with Avengers Arena issue 14. Dennis Hopeless, you're my man. I don't know where this title is going anymore. People are gonna die. It's awesome. Pick it up in the singles. Next, I have Matt Fraction and Michael Allred's FF issue 11. It's a weird, impossible issue that I totally enjoyed. Pick it up in the singles. And next, I have Jason Aaron and a joining artist, George Klein, and they're doing Thor: God of Thunder. It's a really sad issue. Just pick it up in the singles. And then we have the last issue of Thanos Rising, issue 5. Jason Aaron once again. Simone Biaggi's art is incredible. I love it. Pick it up in the singles. Also really sad. Jason Aaron, what's your pal? Next we have Brian Michael Bendis, Fraser Irving, Uncanny X-Men, issue 11 was awesome. Okay, and John Romita, and who's leaving Marvel, by the way. I don't know if anyone knows that. I just found that out recently, that he's leaving Marvel after Kick-Ass 3. But he ends his run on Cap with Rick Remender. It was incredible. Pick it up the singles. Almost my favorite. Rick Remender, once again, well hung Wolverine there. Issue 11 of Uncanny Avengers is incredible. Daniel Acuna's art is awesome. I didn't know how I was going to feel about it, but I love it. Pick it up in the singles. It's all my quick picks. More you know. Crimson.
Alright guys, I don't have that many quick picks, so I'll take my time on them. First quick pick of the week is going to be Teen Titans issue 23. It's called Flashback. If you haven't been reading Teen Titans, it's a little hard to pick up and read, so I definitely recommend reading at least issue 20 through this one so you can understand exactly what's happening. We see that Kid Flash is about to be taken back to his own time and tried for the crimes that he's committed. We don't know what those crimes are yet, and he doesn't either. And we're trying to figure that out. This issue is very touching. It's really just about the team trying to come back together as a team after what happened with Trigon. And the end of the issue really pisses me off because my favorite character on the team right now is Bunker, and he's leaving the team. And I don't want that to happen. I would like to say that this is a pickup in the singles, but sadly a lot of people probably won't like it, so I'll have to say that it is a wait for the trade. My next quick pick of the week is going to be Talon issue 11. If you've been watching any of my videos, you already know to pick up Talon in the trades. His fight with Bane is great. He has to outsmart Bane, but that's really hard to do because Bane's a freaking genius. So pick that up. It's really good. It's really worth it, and I like the Talon's new team. Awesome. My last quick pick of the week was almost my favorite, Justice League. It's part 6 of 6 for the Trinity War, and you actually do need to read the rest of the Trinity War in order to understand exactly what's going on. I didn't really like the Trinity War as a whole, but the ending in this is amazing. You see what comes out of the portal, you see what's making everybody evil, and I'm not even going to ruin it for you guys. Just literally pick up issue 23, read it, buy it, house it. I loved it. Get that in your life. You need it in your life. And those were my quick picks of the week. Jules gave you his quick pick of the week.
Now
so we're
time
going
for
the ultimate ones.
All right. My quick picks of the week is starting off with X, Fight or Flight. This is a very interesting comic. Crimson Chris recommended it to me. It starts off where it's like a crime scene. Guys are all beat up, bleeding all over the place, cut up, and apparently there's this superhero named X who's just running around doing these things to these criminals, and there's an actual crime going on. But my main thing is just trying to figure out who the heck is X. So one thing's for sure, I'm gonna stay on top of this one because it's one of my faves out of my quick picks.
So Dark Horse did a good job.
Dark Horse did a very good job. The artwork is just about where it needs to be. So I enjoy it. I say pick it up. Also, my next little quick is, I have to say, IDW with Godzilla Rulers of the Earth. Oh my god, I don't know what it's building up to, but it seems like they're gonna do a Destroy All Monsters. I'm not even kidding you. It's just about like all the monsters are just showing up for no reason. Destroyer, it's like an episode of The Predator or something, or The Alien, even better. The Marines are trying to destroy all the little baby destroyers and stuff like that. They're freezing them, they're breaking them apart. Spoiler alert, it ends with Godzilla just showing up and his chest is completely open. He falls to the ground. So I'm not for sure what happened to him or what, but I'm hoping for the next issue. All I gotta say, pick it up.
Nice. That's the first Godzilla you ever said that they should pick up.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is.
So
Yes.
that's saying something because it's the biggest Godzilla person I've ever met in my life. So that is awesome.
All right, guys, you gave me your quicks. Give me your favorites. Come on.
Okay, well, got the next chapter of Infinity. I'm sorry Jonathan Hickman continues to just walk on water because this issue is so good it hurt. Like legitimately, my soul like broke in half a little bit. It actually picks off right where the other Avenger or other new Avenger book left off. I guess he did the prelude to Infinity, but it's not like the last Avenger issue where it's like full on Infinity. It's like, oh yeah, the incursions are still going on and we're still like the Illuminati and like this is us dealing. Since the Avengers have left, Thanos is like, oh, there's no Avengers on Earth. And he's like, oh no, the Illuminati's totally right there, still ready to get Witch and Thanos. And they're not all prepared at all. They're like not even kind of prepared. But we do know one of the Illuminati does have the missing stone from the Infinity Gauntlet that didn't break. I don't know who has the time gem. Namor thinks he does, and Thanos has made a deal. And I don't know yet, but this issue is really, really good. Kinda hints at where it might be at the end of the issue. Not gonna tell you. Want you to read it. Infinity's been incredible. There's only 3 books at it right now. Read them. It's awesome. Pick it up the single. It was my favorite. Mike Dettato's art's incredible. I'm sorry. And Jonathan Hickman, you walk on water. East to west.
All right.
Mine, Crimson.
Well, guys, my favorite of the week. Like I said, it was really hard to pick a favorite because I had 2 that I really liked. But Batman Superman issue 3. I know everybody who's been keeping up with Weekly RECS knows that I'm kind of digging this title, and it shows obviously because it's my favorite of the week. Greg Pak and like Jay Lee, I really love what they're doing. I really like this. It's its own thing. It's not New 52. Well, it is New 52, but it's not really canon with the New 52 universe. Obviously, we have a young Superman, we have a young Batman from one time, and we have an older Superman and an older Batman from a different time that meet up. And one thing that I really like about this issue in particular is young Superman thinks that his older self is a douchebag.
Wow.
And I love that. he even comments on it in the book, and he's like, is that what I'm going to be like when I'm older? I'm going to be a jerk? And then Lois Lane is like, you know, you got to give him some credit because of this and that. And I'm like, shut up, Lois, because it's true. He's kind of a douchebag. But whatever, I do still like this Superman. I like this Batman, future Superman and Batman that is. Future Batman and Superman are actually best friends in this universe, and I mean like childhood best friends. They met when they were kids, they played together, they grew up together, they know each other very well, and this time they are best friends, and it shows. And Superman trusts Batman 100%, Bruce trusts Clark 100%, but the younger versions of each person, they don't trust anyone like the Batman and Superman we know. They don't want to trust anybody, and I don't blame them. And we see Darkseid in this. We see Darkseid, but we don't see Darkseid. Like, we know that he is coming. We know that he has something to do with what's going on in this book, in this miniseries, and I really want to see what it is. We see Wonder Woman a lot. The art is the art alone to me is worth picking up all the books. There's only 3 right now. The story is getting intense. I really like the banter between the little Superman and the little Batman, or younger Superman, younger Batman. It's great. It's what I think they would be like. And I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. It's my favorite. Pick it up in the singles. Do not wait for the trades. The covers feel nice too. They're thick. They're not the really like the flimsy ones we're used to for DC. That's why this is $3.99 instead of $2.99. But it's definitely worth it. I can't praise it enough. The childhood scenes that we see in this with Bruce and Clark are actually very touching and very good. So just for that alone, pick it up. The art alone, you can pick it up. The story alone, you can pick it up. So don't miss out. It's perfect to me. I love it. I'm gonna keep reading it.
Awesome.
And with that said,
We're gonna turn it over.
we're gonna turn it over to the ultimate one here. What do you got for us this week?
All right, I got something special. All right, it's not Flashpoint. Let's start it off right now. Inside this B-Man bag,
It should be Flashpoint.
it's not.
Alright, whatever.
But I got something even better. Something we've been talking about.
Everything's better than Flashpoint, but go ahead.
Something we've been talking about today and throughout most of the episodes of Weekly RECS. I figure why not talk about this movie? This movie is so awesome. I looked at it before I came
Oh,
here.
the suspense is killing me.
Oh God, Watchmen.
Is that upside down?
Nope, is it?
Yeah,
There it goes.
A little bit.
Fixed it.
Oh, God.
Watchmen. Guys, when I watched, this is my second time looking at this. I watched it once, mind blown, and looking at it again, I'm like, what is this? So, opinions, please. Tell me what you have to say.
I actually just watched that movie for the third time very recently for events that will not be discussed on the show, but it is a very good movie. I love it. I think it is one of DC's finest. I love the Watchmen comic. That's like the Bible to me, and the Jules too. It's like our comic Bible.
I read it when I was 6, and I should have never done that.
I did not read it when I was 6. I read it I think I read it when I was 18, 17 maybe, right out of high school.
Don't read it when you're 6, kids.
Don't read it when you're 6. It's definitely not. It's not for kids. You shouldn't have had it anyway. He shouldn't have had it anyway. The scenes with Silk Spectre and Night Owl alone.
It was not that bad. It wasn't as bad as...
It's pretty freaking bad. It's pretty freaking bad.
It's pretty freaking bad.
It's just impotent.
The only thing I have to say about the movie, is freaking Rorschach. Because if you see this movie and you don't like Rorschach, then you're not a human and you don't have a soul. It's that simple. Jackie O. Harley, he was 100% the best choice for this.
He was. I absolutely agree with Crimson in that the cast is just spot on from the book. The scenes are spot on from the book, except for the end. And I understand if you're a hardcore fanatic.
Yeah, I agree.
You can't do the end in a movie like that. The movie would have been like 5-6 hours.
Literally.
Because they foreshadowed the whole book the way the end is going to be. And it's just, you couldn't do that. You couldn't do that in the movie. Literally, you can't do brain aliens. You can't do that in a movie. You lose all the validity. It's perfect for the book. You couldn't do it. Hollywood couldn't do it. I agree that Hollywood couldn't do it. But as far as casting goes, everyone is spot on to where they're supposed to be. Everyone sounds the way they're supposed to be. It is, of all the comic book movies, in my opinion, the best cast.
I have to say this is probably one of the best DC.
I'm not gonna go as far as saying I think the casting is 100% perfect, because I do have problems with it. But what I will say is that those problems are minuscule enough for me to not go into them. So I will say.
Well, I mean, nothing's perfect. Yeah, I'm saying it's as close
not
as
true.
That is true.
Nah.
That's as close as you get to doing The Watchmen as it should be.
The Watchmen, yes, I do agree with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's as close as you're gonna get to doing that whole story.
It's so weird seeing Night Owl though in this movie after watching every movie that this guy's been in now. He does like horror suspense movie, ghost hunter movies now. Like we just seen him in The Conjuring, and we've seen him in Insidious, and now Insidious 2 is coming out. It's so weird to go back and watch this and see that. But it's a great movie. That's a great pick to talk about. That's something that's excellent to talk about. I could talk about this movie for
a really long time.
Yeah, we could. Do you guys agree that maybe this is one of the top best DC films? Live action films?
I do agree. It's one of the best live action DC movies that we'll probably ever see, sadly.
I think it's actually the best live action DC movie.
The best.
I think it is, in my
don't
personal
agree with
opinion. And everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
That's true. That's true.
In my in Jules True's personal opinion, it's the best DC film.
He's right. Well, I have to say,
that is awesome. I have 2 things to say. One is I have someone here that I want to speak to you guys, and also goodnight Elaine. I want to say that. I wanted to say goodnight Elaine because Elaine knows, and I know. But I want to get Kryptonite Kyle up here to talk about something that he's been reading, and I want him to give you a recommendation. So I'm actually going to step down, and I'm going to let him tell you that. Come on up here, Kyle. Here he comes, here he comes, here he comes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Bam!
What's up?
What's up?
Good night.
Yeah.
Man.
Alright, one thing real quick on the Watchmen that you brought in. Watchmen, amazing movie. Honestly, like the movie more than I like the comic book.
Wow.
I love the comic book. I just have some problems with the ending of the comic book.
Yeah.
More so because I feel that in the comic book, the characters don't really care that Rorschach had to die. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel to me like they really care that Rorschach had to die, but in the movie, it really does. Like, it shows, like, yo, they really did care. You know, especially Owlman.
We're gonna talk about that after
great.
this because
Okay.
I have something to
Fair
go with
enough.
that. But
All right. Here we go.
What I was checking out is from my own personal collection, something that is a throwback because he loves to do throwbacks. And what it is, I'm going to need help, is X-Men #1 from the 1990s. Amazing cover, Jim Lee. Yeah,
So
someone needs
good.
help with.
It's so good.
Look at that cover, folks.
There we go.
Look
at this.
that cover. Look
All
at
right,
it. Look at
so that's one full cover, pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Jim Lee's art also amazing, and in all honesty, in my personal opinion, I think this is when people started to actually care a lot about the X-Men, more so because you can actually get behind Magneto's, why he's doing what he's doing, and because of that, it makes you feel for him like a villain. Also, the Wolverine they have during this X-Men run is just a lot grittier. Like, he just comes in, like, people are like, I thought he was my friend, but he almost killed me. Yeah, it's because Wolverine's a bad man, So, and there's no holds barred on that. Also, and then the other one is X-Men #2, continuation of the Jim Lee's, furthers the story. It's really, really great. It's a really great book. So if y'all have never ever read this, which hopefully you have, but if you haven't, find somewhere and read them because they're pretty amazing.
As a long-time X fan,
Sweet.
that's the best jumping on point is Jim Lee / David
absolutely.
Finch's run. It's perfect. You get everybody you eventually want to see, everyone at their best before they all go crazy and become a horseman at some point.
Yep.
Except for Angel, who's already been a horseman at this point, and is like, that's the best he's ever been. But that's probably the best cast, the most full cast, before they go back to little kids again. Literally, at that point, the New Mutants were the only teenagers, and they were almost adults at that point.
Awesome.
Perfect jumping on point if you don't know anything about X-Men.
So agreed.
All right.
And
That's
art's
what I have to
incredible.
say. I'll let Chris get back in. Thanks, fellas.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Kryptonite Cow.
Thank you, Kyle.
Alright guys, that's pretty much it. Next week, Kyle's actually going to tell us about something else that he's been reading, something that I recommended to him today. That comic is called East of West.
Jonathan Hickman. Walks
Hickman.
on water.
But like with that said though guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up this week. That is everything that we have to tell you guys from Weekly RECS. Next week we'll be back with another episode with more comics, with more recommendations, and more opinions.
And hopefully we'll get started on some of our other little projects.
Starting
there's
next week.
Yeah, there's some other things.
Some other things we got going
Kind of
on.
like weekly verses.
Weekly versus
Like for example, which movie was the best summer movie? We had the discussion a couple of weeks ago where there was
Star Trek.
There was Star Trek on one side and Pacific Rim on the other.
Pacific Rim.
So they're gonna go ahead.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it and see who.
That's actually a good movie. I don't
talk
care what
about
anyone
it.
says.
Alright, guys.
Everyone
It's the best.
says, me and Elaine agree.
Yeah,
500 Days of Summer.
but me and Elaine and I, we really agree, don't we, Elaine? Anyway,
We're gonna.